Alfred got a brilliant start in the semi-final and she's away well again. She's up on Richardson at the moment. Julian Alfred, the history maker, the gold medalist in the pouring rain. It's all sunshine for the St. Lucian Star. They've never won a medal before, and now they've taken the best one of the lot. Julian Alfred has stunned Richardson, the favourite. The world champion was left in her
That was all she wrote. Julian Alfred created Olympic history for St. Lucia, winning the country's first ever Olympic Games medal. Welcome to We Paddy Prime, and what an amazing time for the Caribbean. Field events spearheading things from a Caribbean perspective, gentlemen, and it was really an impressive run for Julian Alfred. The people in St. Lucia, from Castries to La Soufrière, everywhere will be blasting Dennery's segment from their speaker boxes for weeks to come. J. Hugh Gordon joins us on set together with Anil Roberts, and what an amazing time, J. Hugh, for the Caribbean. Gold medal in the women's 100 meter.
What a way to introduce the Caribbean to the medal table. Gold medal, national record, the first of its kind for St. Lucia. St. Lucia, stand up. Now is your time. In Trini and local parlance, we'd say pandemonium in the streets, but we could understand the whole place flat in St. Lucia this time. Congrats, big congrats to Miss Julian Alfred.
Yeah, I know for a fact the Prime Minister and their entire committee there set up big screens at various spots across St. Lucia. Massive celebrations, I'm sure, unfolding as we speak in the streets of St. Lucia. Of course, the Friday night party in Gros-Islet will turn to a Saturday night party, a Sunday night party, and even a Monday night party. Anil Roberts.
It was about 8 days ago when we turned on the lights here at SportsMax that I looked into that camera, and I was even frightened to talk it out too much because I didn't want to goat-mouth it. And I said, with all my coaching brain knowledge and understanding of athletes, that Julian Alfred and her coach had got it right. She ran about 17 days ago in London at 200. She came second, but she ran strong and powerful to 180, 185 meters, and then Gabby Thomas pulled away. That showed me that she was fit, she was sharp, she was right, she was ready, and that she could make it through the rounds effortlessly. That was not only a gold medal, as J.U. said, and a national record for St. Lucia. That was total world domination. That woman from the start, when they introduced she walked out with gold. She reminded me of Hazley Crawford when he gave me that story about how he won in the changing room by telling them he's going to win. When they introduced Sha'Carri Richardson, you could see fear, you could see nerves, you could see questions. When Alfred walked out there, you could see that St. Lucian walk out knowing, I am ready, I have done the work, I am fast, my start is there, my brain could switch off, and I'm just going to take this. From the very go, her start reaction beat everybody. Her first step was brilliant. She took 3 or 4 steps before her neck even started to come up. By the time she started to drive, she was already a meter ahead. Sha'Carri was blown out. She powered past them, and she knew at 45 meters that was gold, and it was a coronation throughout. St. Lucia will not party for a week or two. They'll party for the rest of the century. It was a beautiful run. Congratulations to Julian Alfred and brilliant St. Lucia. Hats off to you. I'm kind of jealous, you know, but I still love it. I go pretend I have a little light blue day now. You know, I don't like Manchester City, but I love St. Lucia blue. Well done. Congratulations.
You know, we spoke about Caribbean representation as well, that when someone wins a medal, it's not just for that particular territory, but it's for the entire Caribbean. And I think the entire Caribbean was united today. We walked out into the streets and you could feel the presence of just everyone glued to their TV sets and really going behind all these athletes. Obadilla Thompson joins us from the Paris commentary box. Obadilla, your initial reaction to that race, Julian Alfred getting gold.
Yes, I am extremely elated. Elated is not even the right words. Like I said, I had goosebumps. I believe that she could do it. She showed in all of the rounds that she came there for business. When she ran that semifinal, that dominant semifinal against Sha'Carri Richardson, the 1084, you knew she was there to win. As you all said, she came out, she looked like if she was confident. She came out focused. And one of the interesting things, like I talk about the analysis that they do after the race, they give us a 10-meter segment breakdown. She led every single segment of that race, from the gun all the way to the tape. Magnificent performance. I'm happy for her. I'm happy for St. Lucia. I'm happy for the Caribbean.
Yeah, Obadele, what was the feeling like in the commentary box when you were bringing that race to the fore, bringing that race to the people of the Caribbean? What was the feeling like when you saw her going down to the 40 to the 50-meter mark and then going past the entire pack?
Well, we expected it to be a little tighter, a little bit closer. We knew that she would get out. She's the world indoor 60-meter champion this year. We thought Sha'Carri Richardson would have made a run for her, but that didn't happen. We were also excited about Tia Clayton, who got to an extremely good start, and considering her semifinal run of 10.89, we thought that she might have a chance to win another medal for Jamaica, but she came out short, finishing 7th, but we were ecstatic, elated, as again, beyond words for what Julian Alfred did in such, you know, again, the word that keeps coming to mind is dominant fashion. To win an Olympic final in 0.15 against a world-class field. All right, Oba. Including the reigning world champion.
Great indeed. Great points indeed. Obadele was saying that, his entire morale was changed when she walked onto that track. But we're going to get his thoughts even further when we come back from this quick break. Stay with us, friends. This is We Paddy Prime. You don't want to miss the next few segments.
From every nation we come to compete. With passion and courage our hearts beat. De chaque nation nous venons pour rivaliser. Avec passion et courage, nos cœurs sont élevés. In the arena, we give our all. With grace and honor, we stand tall. Dans l'arène, nous donnons tout.
Sponsorship of this broadcast brought to you by
In a world where our dreams sometimes seem so far away, Digicel is the partner that brings us all together. Stay connected this summer at home or on the go with Digicel Plus Home Fiber or a Prime Broader plan. Enjoy premium access to the action anywhere you're there. One side, one Digicel, one Jamaica. Digicel, better connected.
Be terrified by the line that went on forever, where one man is trapped in a never-ending car insurance payment line.
Wow, that sounds like a nightmare.
Right?
So why not skip the horror story and choose BCIC for all your car insurance needs?
You can go online and get a quote in less than 5 minutes. Or you can buy a policy in less than 10 minutes.
Plus payment options and so much more designed especially for you. BCIC, rethink insurance.
Severe back pain? Take Aleve Extra Strength. 2 Aleve can last as 8 of others, relieving severe body pain for up to 12 hours. Because what you do all day is important. Aleve is from Bayer.
It's the Paris Games, darling. Everything needs to be perfect. Sneakers and spikes?
Check.
Her looks?
Check.
Okay, team. Seems like we pulled this off in record time. So, I just want to know, where's the water? Thanks, but I mean the cases of water. So she can stay hydrated for the games? Where's the water?
I didn't think she was taking water with her to Paris.
Hey, Jacko!
The water team send the cases ahead, so if you're good, then I'm officially ready for Paris.
Track and field, swimming, or any sport. Place your bets
2024 Olympics and more at betcagesports.com and enjoy the payouts. Now available on Barbados, St. Lucia, and Antigua Barbuda.
We are bucket together when everybody out. Fried chicken we are pre-bucket for the crew. Share a bucket together, everybody go live. Spicy original when we online. Bucket together to the new dance craze. Taste explosion bursting with flame. When we are bucket together, it put you in a good mood. Every moment to share is finger licking good. Bucket together, come make we bucket together. Bucket together, bucket together.
Sponsorship of this broadcast brought to you by
Welcome back to We Paddy Prime, and it is an impressive run. What an impressive run from Julian Alfred. The moment she ran down that 100-meter track and she passed the finish line, it was all St. Lucia. It was all Alfred. She was looking left to right and no one was in her midst. And all she could have done was brought herself to tears, knowing what greatness she had accomplished.
She won. Alfred won every facet of that race. Let me tell you something. When they say elite level sport is in the mind, Alfred won that gold medal in the semi-final. She beat Sha'Carri Richardson right next to her. As fate would have it, they lined up side by side in the semi-final. And from the gun, Alfred beat her reaction time. She beat her first step. She beat her first 3 steps. She beat her lifting up. She showed her the speed. Sha'Carri tried to catch her, to gallery herself. Did not make any headway. Alfred moved away, shut down at 88. Sha'Carri still tried to catch her, and then pretend she shut down at 97. Now, when you finish that and you're going to cool down, drink your Gatorade, Powerade, whatever, and relax, that curtail on your mind, understand that? So Sha'Carri Richardson for 1 hour and 48 minutes studying, but how this girl have beat me so, what going on do?
So you're basically trying to tell us she choked in the final?
Choke! No choke, because licks, whether you call it choke, I know I can't beat you. Oh Lord, that girl fast. What I go do? Somebody help me. Mommy call me something, because Alfred was so perfect, so calm. She executed, she did her job, and she did it right. If Sha'Carri had a few lanes gap, she could have pretend she didn't really feel the licks, but she felt the licks right next to her. And to go for 2 hours, just under 2 hours, with that on your mind, when they introduce, if the producer's good, go back to the introduction, rewind that tape, and show me Sha'Carri when she looked there. She looked the most scared I've ever seen her. Normally, she's a confident girl, pretty thing and moving. She looked there, and you look in her eyes, and you see the fear. Alfred come out there like Mike Tyson. She knows she's going to beat people.
You agree with that point that Sha'Carri Richardson did not look herself, especially from that introduction phase when they were introducing the athletes to come to the starting blocks. She really, I really did see some sort of fear in her face.
Yeah, we could tell as athletes, and I remember back in 2011.
Watch it there, Jay. You commentate on it there. Look at that.
And then when we do live commentary.
Well, look, I go do it. And here's Sha'Carri Richardson. Look at her eyes. Read it. She don't know where to look. All she could see is the light blue of Alfred. She knows St. Lucia flag now by heart. She don't know what she's going to do. She need help, because speed coming from the Caribbean. St. Lucia, that is not the walk of a champion.
Yeah, she seemed a little bit deflated. Yes. The head drop, normally it would be in tune, the eyes would be locked in. Yeah. You would already know what is at stake. And as Anil mentioned, given that they both ran in the semi-finals together, which to me probably helped Julian's situation heading into the final, going back and watching the numbers, Julian separated at the start and she was able to maintain.
Watch this now, Jay. Sorry to interrupt you, but watch that. All you introduce me, call me country correct, feel me good. All you look at me good and let me walk out there. I come to work here. Just watch this. This is my race. Watch that quiet confidence, brilliance, powerful. Lord have mercy. That is our coach's dream. She went out there, took the pressure, bright lights on, rain or no rain, and she implemented her strategy to perfection. Goal for St. Lucia. St. Lucia should party on, should have a national holiday on Monday, Prime Minister of St. Lucia.
Jehu, the track was soaking wet for the final. Much different conditions from the semi-final.
Yeah.
How does that influence an athlete's approach to this greatest feat that they're about to achieve?
Well, we always try to prepare for all conditions. So as an athlete, yes, we'll go out there and there's sunshine, but we know we need to, if tonight is the final, two things we would want to always have in our backpacks: our rain jacket and our ceremonial jacket. Because as athletes, we never go out onto that starting line thinking we are not going to be on top of the podium. And that is why I see so many athletes are left hurt and are left depressed after a major championship final.
Yeah, even in the call room, I saw them remove their rain jackets, etc. But the match officials were telling them, keep the rain jackets on. They want to ensure that everyone remains safe and warm as possible. We were chatting as well that even in cooler conditions, it tends to be that some of these athletes, their real temperature that they want to run at may not be achieved.
Yeah, the ideal body temperature will not be achieved, obviously, because the place is cooler. There's nothing really to protect the heart, there where all the blood is pumping from and channeling throughout the body. So in some people, that can naturally get to them before they go out on the line. They tend to tense up a little bit. The hamstring all of a sudden starts to feel tighter. The neck feels tight. So obviously now that will translate into managing their form and technique. And we saw Sha'Carri for the first time leaning back, struggling, trying hard, and yet still she wasn't able to maintain her form all the way through the line.
Yeah, Sha'Carri Richardson second from the USA with 10.87. Julian Alfred first from St. Lucia, 10.72. And taking bronze was Melissa Jefferson of the USA
Just
as well
watch this
with
race
10.92.
Watch that. It's already over right there. 30 meters, it is over. They are scrambling. They don't know where. They just know they're fighting to just get on the podium. That is a sweet victory. She still had more. If someone was there to push her, she could have even gone 10.69. This was a brilliant run, an amazing gold medal. Normally, I don't like sky blue because I'm Manchester United and I don't like Manchester City. But St. Lucia, I love the light blue right now. I'd get myself a jersey, boy.
Now, what are the chances of Julian Alfred completing the sprint double? She moves into the 200 now as a favorite.
Definitely as a favorite. We saw her, as Anil mentioned, at the London Diamond League there, and one of the faster competitors in the world, Gabi, which is from the USA, she barely and narrowly dipped her, but just on the finish line. So now, given the mental state she's in, I would say she goes in with a boost of confidence and definitely one to look out for.
I beg to differ there. I beg to differ a little bit because you have to look at what is going to play now. Okay, Gabi Thomas is the favorite. Julian Alfred, you see what's going to take place between now and the 200? That euphoria, that celebration, that sort of history making, it sends you into a different realm and takes the focus away from the 200 a bit. So while if there's a difference in hunger. So right now she's achieved, she wasn't really coming here for the 200. She know that Gabi Thomas is the real one. Hazley Crawford was right there. We saw in a picture, he's in the stands and I saw them, Alfred and Hazley Crawford sitting down there. In 1976, Hazley Crawford didn't tell anybody that story, but I looked at the video. When he won his 100 meters, he was celebrating down to the end of the track and he jumped up in the air. And when he landed, he tweaked something. And that's why he was unable to run the 200 properly. And Don Quarry ended up taking that 200. So Julian Alfred, even though she looked good, she looked great, I still, even though I love Miss St. Lucia, I love my Caribbean, Gabi Thomas, who's sitting there relaxing, hungry for gold, is still the favorite.
Watch. To me, who is the athlete here? Myself or Anil Sachin?
You!
Right? So...
He's the coach.
So I'm telling you from an athlete's perspective,
yeah.
This is going to send my confidence through the roof. I'll feel like I can go out there and run the race in any way. I could get a bad start and I could have a great finish. I could have a great start and I could ease off on my competitors. Now I'm going one up because now they're saying, hey, she is the Olympic 100-meter champion, and that is going to play some way form or the other on the other competitors' mind.
I want all you. I like that. I like a challenge from an athlete, you know. But always remember, for a great athlete like Jehu, you have to have a great coach. So all you press record and we will see But I hope I'm wrong, you know. I hope you're right, because I would like St. Lucia to get the double.
We see on many occasions that coach could only do so much as the athlete to run out on the finish line.
That's agreed. We all know his adenosine triphosphate level is always skyrocketing.
Skyrocketing.
It's skyrocketing at the moment. But, you know, someone who was not skyrocketing, unfortunately, it was disappointment before the feeling of euphoria in the Caribbean when Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce has, for the past 16 years, she has represented Jamaica with class and pride, one of only 3 women to defend the Olympic 100 title, and she has done it with a magnetic smile. 3 gold Olympic medals, 8 in total, and the quest to add a 9th gold medal ended with a DNS in the 100-meter semi-finals. An unfortunate end to her Olympic chapter. Gentlemen, I felt the mood change immediately because we were all expecting one Fraser-Pryce to dominate the semi-finals and get into the final with a breeze. But for some reason, we're seeing reports of, Arnold spoke of some cartilage problems, some hamstring problems as well, maybe in the mix, but it's totally unconfirmed. We can only speak of speculation at this point. But just, Jehu, from a first time when you heard this coming through the airwaves from Paris, what were your initial thoughts?
Yeah, my heart dropped. Everybody started to measure, hey, what's going on with Shelly-Ann, what's going on with Shelly-Ann. This is not only about Shelly-Ann or Jamaica or the Caribbean, this is about the world. We understood what she has done for so many years, and to us, we believe that this would have been the greatest send-off to see her in another Olympic final and challenge for a medal. So we empathize with Shelly's situation. We wish her a speedy recovery, and we look forward to seeing her back on track where she could get a proper send-off.
You know what makes it worse, Sachin? The way Julian Alfred set up that race, it was set up for Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce to get silver. Because Alfred had shattered Sha'Carri's mental, her positivity, shattered her in that semi-final. If Fraser-Pryce was there, silver would have been hers. But Leighton Levy on SportsMax Zone last evening said it. He wasn't sure if the left knee, the bone-on-bone could take, because that great run that Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce had in the first round. He said it yesterday, and y'all could play the tape. He was wondering if she could do it 2 or 3 times. And it appears that her body wouldn't let her do it. It's sad. We got deflated. We got the news. But Julian Alfred brought us back to smiles.
I don't think there is much of a better story, gentlemen, because we saw the adversity and we saw the greatness all within a space of 2 hours. And it really speaks leaps and bounds that, hey, the Caribbean has once again shot to stardom in track and also in the field, which we will be discussing later on. But, you know...
And we must mention Talu, because Jehu, you and I had said...
we were talking about Talu, but you mentioned
that she ran too hard.
The first in the heats, it was an impressive run from her, getting, what, 10.87.
Yeah, 87.
And we were all looking at her for possibly maybe 3rd position, but she was nowhere to be found.
Well, yes, because I said in that first round, she went too hard. It looked like an athlete who was looking for confidence, looking for something to feel good about, looking to get herself into the Olympics by running too fast. And clearly, this effort tore too many fibers. She's going hard there. That's how you run in the final. And obviously, she had soreness in her muscles going into the final, and she pulled up. That's unfortunate for her because she's been a great athlete over and over, but sometimes you just don't have it to go through the round. She is the exact opposite of how Alfred came in. Alfred came in fit, ripped, ready to go, being able to conserve, knowing that she had 200 fitness to go through rounds. And we'll see if she can do the double with the 200.
Now, we saw that magnetic smile which we spoke about from Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce on the track there. Could this be the last time we see that magnetic smile on an Olympic track? And I stress on that, an Olympic track, Jehu.
Yeah, for sure. She already came out and said this is going to be her last Olympic Games. Maybe we could see her challenging for the World Championships next year, but for sure, you know, it's a bit of a pity at this point. We empathize, but Shelly, speedy recovery, and we look forward to seeing you back soon.
Tia Clayton wasn't bad, just a mention. Good for a 19-year-old to get in their final run. I think if she can maintain her training over the next 4 years, that she could be one to be reckoning at the 2028 game. So good she got a final run in. Difficult, but Julian Alfred stole the show. It's St. Lucia all day, every day. Wow.
For the next 4 years.
For
Correct.
the next four years. And we're going to be talking about the other victorious Caribbean athletes when we come back from the short break. Do stay with us on We Paddy Prime.
Sponsorship of this broadcast brought to you by
Hey love, you excited for date night tonight? I'm seeing you at 5, right?
Of course, babe. I'll see you at 5.
It's the Paris Games, darling. Everything needs to be perfect. Sneakers and spikes?
Check.
Her looks?
Check.
Okay, team. Seems like we pulled this off in record time. So, I just want to know, where's the water? Thanks, but I mean the cases of water. So she can stay hydrated for the games? Where's the water?
I didn't think she was taking water with her to Paris.
Hey, Jacko! The water team send the cases ahead, so if you're good, then I'm officially ready for Paris.
Life come with plenty tough decisions. But you know what not hard? Deciding which flavors to get on your amazing 4 pizza. Pepperoni, Hawaiian, chicken chunks, vegetarian. There's no pressure with Pizza Hut's amazing 4. You get 4 juicy flavors with 1 less choice to make. Pizza Hut, now that's delivery.
In the heart of Kingston's business mecca is a 17-story gem. The Jamaica Pegasus Hotel offers luxury to all our visitors for business or leisure. Relax in one of our many deluxe suites with mountain or pool views. Savor the array of culinary delights in our Blue Window restaurant. Enjoy complimentary breakfast or visit our 24/7 cafe. We boast 9 extensive conference facilities for your meetings and banquets. We look forward to welcoming you soon at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel.
Sponsorship of this broadcast brought to you by
Well, it was an outstanding day for Caribbean athletes in track and field, picking up medals in the men's shot put, women's triple and decathlon. Gentlemen, let's start with the women's triple jump, where the Caribbean had a 1-2 finish. Brilliant indeed. We were sitting looking at these two athletes and hoping that they pull out the good stuff, Jehu, and they did.
Excellent over magnificent performances. Tia Lafond has been showing great promise and great progress over the last 4 to 6 years or so. This year she went to the World Indoor Championships. She won gold medal, national indoor record. Her outdoor performances did not match it. She wasn't able to jump over 15 meters for the entire outdoor season, and saving her best performance for the for the Olympic Games here, where we saw she went on to set a new personal best, new national record of just over 15 meters. Absolutely brilliant.
And that picture that we saw with Ricketts and Lafond, it really emphasized the point that we speak of, Anil, that when a territory from the Caribbean wins a medal, it's not just a medal for the territory, it's a medal for the entire Caribbean. The unifying nature of sport really shot to the forefront there.
Absolutely, and Lafond was helping Ricketts to celebrate. She was emotional. She had hugged her husband and she broke down. But this gold medal for Dominica, it warms my heart because I have a lot of friends, brand new friends in Dominica that we're working very closely with. I got to visit Dominica and saw the love and the camaraderie and the brotherhood and sisterhood of the Dominican people and the spirit. And I can know that they've been waiting for this a long time. Lafond represents all the best of Dominica. The environment in Dominica is pristine. You take a drive through the beauty. That is what they have now to share in their beauty, and to shine upon it is a gold medal. Triple jump. We were talking about the triple jump. Every time you see the triple jump, I feel like my knees, my ankles, my hips, something going to break. But Lafond is so fit, so flexible. She went out there in 15:02, and that was her second jump, I think, Jehu, and it lasted 4 rounds. We kept looking and hoping and watching competitor after competitor, and her distance held up, and Dominica was holding its breath. They were holding its breath all the way, and Lafond has done it. The first ever gold medal for Dominica. Congratulations. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling like a Dominican.
Yes, and for me, seeing Sherika Ricketts, she's missed the podium. She's won double silver at 2 previous world championships. So now to finally win that first Olympic medal for Jamaica in triple jump, it definitely shows a consistency throughout the last couple of years.
You know, we are feeling the emotions here. I'm sure the entire Caribbean is feeling the emotions. The people of Dominica and Jamaica are feeling the emotions. But let's see the emotions of the athletes themselves. Alex Jordan caught up with them.
Wow. Wow. Ready? In the early round, Shanika Ricketts, it was one and done for you. And now a season's best, 14.87 for a silver medal for Jamaica here in the triple jump. How do you feel it?
I'm feeling happy. I feel blessed. 3rd Olympic Games, 3 times the charm. God is good. God is really good. And with the season that I've been having, trust me, anything could have happened tonight, but I'm just grateful that His mercies are new every morning.
Can you talk us through a bit from your season? Because we know it's not all flowers and sunshine, is it?
It has not been all flowers and sunshine. Even up until the national trials, I've been doing well in training, but the competitions weren't reflecting what has been happening, and I really had to tap into my faith. And I think my support system in my husband and my agent, they have been top tier, and they're the ones that keep me going. And even when it looks like it's not gonna happen, I have to believe, and I just have to keep pushing and trusting the process, and that's what happened.
Well, here you've done it now in Paris 2024, an Olympic silver medalist. A big night for you in Jamaica and for the whole Caribbean.
Yes, a very big night. Tia Lafond, Dominica in the triple jump as well, champion, and also from Grenada. So yes, it's a Caribbean celebration tonight. I'm happy to be a part of it.
A big part of it, silver medal at the Olympics, my dear. Tell Jamaica something.
Thank you for the support. I love you all.
And we love you. Congratulations.
Thank you. She had to interrupt my moment.
Sorry, no. I had to interrupt for the Caribbean. The Caribbean. Absolutely, I'm so proud of her.
Mike?
We know what we went through. We had a chat at the beginning of the season.
Yes.
Sometimes it's like, God, when is it your turn?
Exactly.
And then look at us in our turn.
Yep.
Come on now. I'm so proud of her.
Yes.
Big ups.
This
Big
is my
ups.
sister.
For
This
real.
is my real life
For
sister.
real. To be at this moment together is beyond. Literally, our husbands are our coaches. We bonded all over so much. And God, this season wasn't easy, but we did it when it matters, and that's what counts, right?
That's all that matters, what happened tonight.
Amazing interview. That's gold. That's blockbuster. That's award-winning. Amazing. And she said, you know, LaFon said when she, well, quote-unquote, interrupted the interview, taking the light away and so on, she said Caribbean. Caribbean won. Not Dominica won. Caribbean won, J-Hugh.
Yeah, we know that the Caribbean are not dominant in those type of events. When we look at javelin, when we look at shot put, when we look at discus, when we look at the triple dunk, these girls are setting history and writing history in their own right. 1-2, I don't know any time the Caribbean has ever done such a feat. So kudos to the Caribbean. I know she interrupted Shanika's little spotlight there, but when you get the gold medal, sometimes you just get overwhelmed with emotions. You don't think about what is next. But as she said, they understand what it takes. Shanika probably went through all the difficult adversities that she had to experience throughout the years. She mentioned that she was competing. She just wasn't seeing the results. But one thing that stood out to me was her faith. Understanding that you are putting in the work and ensuring that your support team is right there for you. She could not have done it by herself. She needed the support of her team, and they added to her confidence coming into the Olympic Games.
Sachin, let me just tell you. I hear you, you know. Caribbean, I hear you, I feel it, I see it. St. Lucia, Dominica, I love it. Jamaica, Grenada. That's very nice. Trinidad and Tobago, time to stand up with all due respect. We is the country of McDonald Bailey. We is the country of Hasely Crawford. We is the country of Atto Bolden and Richard Thompson. We is the hot country of Emmanuel Calendar and the 4x100 relay. Jereme Richards, my brother, I hope you feel it. I hope you see it. I hope Keshawn Walcott, you're laying down there, you're getting your massage, you're watching Dominica flag, you're watching St. Lucia, Grenada, Jamaica, because red, white, and black had to come up. I hope Nicholas Paul on his bike, walking, pedaling so with the TV on. So while I is Caribbean, I is all Caribbean. But I want to see my red, white, and black too, AJ.
Well, it will still be Caribbean because we started on the top with Jamaica, coming down.
Coming down, so
We're coming down.
So we go last. All right, I don't mind now.
So cycling is later on next week sometime. The javelin is in a few days.
I want to sit here pretending to all you that I that kind of greedy fella.
Jereme is up tomorrow too. Jereme is up tomorrow.
Jereme, so make me dream. I come out smooth and nice. He's silky, you know.
Jereme, those study this lovable lunatic here. We love you, win, lose, or draw. We understand the pressure. We understand what it takes to be at this stage. But my brother, go out there, have fun, understand that Trinidad and Tobago is supporting you, but understand that you need to do this for you and nobody else first.
Hey, don't study here. I love you, Jereme. Yes, win, lose, or draw, but you are the greatest. You are prepared. This is your time. God is with you. Trinidad and Tobago is with you. 1.4 million strong on the rock and our next million outside all over. So don't study J.U. We love you. Win, lose, or draw, but we know you could do it. Get out there. Take inspiration from LaFon. Take inspiration from Alfred. Take inspiration from Ricketts. Take inspiration from my boy Victor. All right? And we go take it nice and we go celebrate. And I go sit down here with my pajama shirt on SportsMax, red, white, and black.
Well, speaking about celebration, Jamaica is celebrating for another reason again, as one Rajendra Campbell got shot put bronze.
Yeah, boy.
That is impressive. We didn't speak much about him because, J.Hugh, to be quite honest, we didn't see this happening.
We didn't see it happening, obviously. We know the Americans, they're pretty strong, the Europeans, Jack O'Gill, India also. So he was definitely out of the medals. Even when I spoke to one of my colleagues, O'Dane Richards, who was the first person from Jamaica to win a medal at that international level. Unfortunately, it was bronze at the World Championships. But he said he's a great competitor. He's sure he's going to do his best, but he isn't too sure if he was going to medal. But today, Rajendra had to stand up. He was leading until his final throw, and boy oh boy, what it was. They came down to the second best throw because the American came and equaled his 22.15 meters that he threw on his fourth throw. So they went back to his second best throw, where he eventually conceded for the bronze medal.
This was the best shot put competition that I've seen in a long time. Intense, battle for battle. Do you know Rajendra nearly took back the silver medal on his final throw? His foot, look at it, great production. Hey, boy, his heel just touched there, and that turned it into a red flag. If his heel didn't touch there, if he tiptoed a little bit more, he would have taken back the silver. But a brilliant competition. Again, congratulations to Jamaica.
Look at the muscular structure of one Rajendra Campbell. He's a real beast.
I must say, I have to apologize to Rajendra. Before he threw his silver, when he went up into silver, I say, but how Rajendra legs so thin? And my daughter Anaya was watching it with me. She said, Daddy, but his arms big. And next thing he spun and threw 22.15. So Rajendra, don't mind your leg little thin for the shot put. You did very good.
And for Rajendra, for him, this is like a meteoric rise because it was only up until 2023 that he was able to make and break through onto the international circuit, making his first World Championship final, but no marks left him unqualified in a sense. So to go out there, put out a biggest throw in the second round, taking that bronze medal.
You see the look,
the intensity,
look, the confidence.
Yeah.
Now compare that to Sha'Carri after Alfred blows you out in the semi-final. I'm telling you. Well, Sha'Carri might have to go psychologist for a year to come back from that.
That one mash up for sure because I know Sha'Carri was your pick.
No, the shot put was won by Ryan Crusoe of the USA. And as Anil mentioned, Campbell could have been in second position had it not been for that heel just barely touching the out-of-bound area, that marker there, and the red flag just went up immediately. Jehu and I were sitting in a room and we were screaming. We were going at each other. We were celebrating for Campbell. And then the red flag came up and we were very disappointed in the end.
Yeah, I'm sure he was pretty disappointed. It is always really painstaking to lose on your final throw. And I know the amount of work he would have had to put in to get there. No one counted him in. He counted himself in. So to lose it in that manner, a bit disappointing. But to be an Olympic bronze medalist, a lot to celebrate.
But talk about the champion, eh? I think this is his third gold medal. First time a man has taken 3 consecutive gold medals in
at the Olympic Games.
We'll give him a clap. Yankee man, we'll give you a clap.
Ryan Crusoe of the USA. Yeah, he's
Ryan
Krauser. We must clap and applaud him. That's brilliance. That is amazing. And to keep doing that.
Yeah.
And the level of training that they have to go through. So you must applaud that.
So we mentioned that we're coming down the line of islands.
Right. So we gain gold.
We're gonna touch on Grenada now.
Yeah,
the
Grenada
Spice Isle.
Grenada right there by we.
Grenada.
So how it reached down quite by Grenada if following your north to south thing?
We
don't reach Grenada.
All right, we don't at Grenada.
So
Trinidad and
tomorrow
Tobago is lower down. Trinidad and Tobago is lower
Barbados
down.
next. Barbados and then Barbados and
we have Trinidad and Tobago up next. But Lyndon Victor in the Decathlon. Lyndon Victor of the Decathlon. We spoke heavily about how crazy this event is, the toll it takes on the human body, and the sort of training that an athlete has to go through to even come in a top 5 or top 6 in this. But Lyndon Victor finishing with bronze.
Yeah, Lyndon showed all signs. We saw his progress throughout all the events. He was consistently producing season's best after season's best after season's best, and that put him in a good nick to challenge for a medal. Unfortunately, we know there were 2 guys heads over heels way better than him. So for him to come out after only placing 3rd at the World Championships last year and now to raise the level and win an Olympic bronze for his country.
Did this confuse you, Jehu? After this throw, watch Victor face and his coach, right? He threw this and he took the lead, I think, with 73 meters. But they looked vexed and I was confused. As I say, I thought I saw it go far, but I thought I was looking for a red flag. But it was just that he was showing them, not this throw, when he threw it at 62 or something.
The javelin or the discus?
It might have been the javelin.
The javelin.
And he looked vexed But he threw 73, which was the best mark of everybody, took points, and I was confused. But then after the javelin, he solidified his place in third, and then the 1500 came and he maintained it. And for y'all, these fellas, these big strong men to run 1500 meters, J. Hugh, describe to them what them big strong men feel in that 1500.
Well, if we watch the 1500 event in the first instance, we see the body composition of most athletes pretty slender, not a lot of muscles, and a really low body fat percentage, because the amount of laps, the pace that they're going to be going through is pretty gruesome. So being able to tolerate all the lactic throughout 3 3/4 laps, boy oh boy.
Look at them. Some of y'all might be saying, but when you compare that to what you see before in the 1500 world-class runners, you have to remember, these men are 3 times the weight, 3 times the height. These fellas, some of them are 245, 260 pounds of muscle, carrying that around 1500 meters. If they go any faster than that, you'll have to line up about 15 ambulances to take them straight to the hospital for oxygen. That is torture, you know. And that just shows the wherewithal. And this is the 10th event, J. Hugh.
10th event.
After 9 other events, they have to finish with that.
To come and run on the track. All your muscles, they're depleted of energy. You're hungry, you're tired, you're fatigued, you're ready to cry, you're ready to lie down. But hey, they toughed it out, and it's really good to see Grenada back on the podium. First ever Decathlon medal for Grenada.
And it brings you back to all the greats before Bruce Jenner. You come back to Daley Thompson of Britain and so on. It was always considered the winner of the decathlon is the greatest athlete on the planet. And I would tend to agree.
The most complete. A certain 400-meter world record holder at this point, Caston Wahome, he was a decathlete before switching to the 400-meter hurdles event.
For true?
For true.
I didn't know that.
Before we go to the break, I want to get your point, Anil, on what does it mean for the Caribbean now that so many islands were showcased to the world, to the billions around the world, from Jamaica to Grenada to St. Lucia. Yes, other sporting events like the CPL and so on showcases these islands. But this is a different scenario. Now the islands are being showcased in a different light. What will it mean for the people of the Caribbean, specifically for these islands?
That's a great question, because all the time, a lot of people ask me, but why should we invest in athletes? Why should we invest in national athletes and so on? And I tell them, you cannot pay for the marketing that an athlete at the highest level gives your country. Right now, it's been about an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe, since Julian Alfred won the 100 meters. Do you know, I'm certain that if you go and check globally how many times St. Lucia has been Googled over the last 2 hours, it will be in the tens of millions. People who didn't know, never understood, they'll be flicking on and checking what's St. Lucia. They'll be seeing the beauty, the beaches, the people, the carnival, the sporting, or the culture, the food. They'll be planning now next year to come to St. Lucia. It will boost tourism. Dominica, if you check now, you will see the clicks going on. You cannot pay for that sort of marketing. If I was, as a government, wanted to pay for that, I would have to pay for like Super Bowl ad time, where it's 10 million US for 30 seconds and so on, and still it's not valuable. This sort of advertisement goes on, as J.U. said, for 4 years. You're just going to see people going to want to know about St. Lucia. Alfred is going to do interviews. She's going to make talk shows. She's going to be global. And everywhere she goes, it's St. Lucia. La Fond, Dominica. It's amazing.
Just to end on Anil's point, I've never traveled anywhere in the world that someone has asked me, how is Anil Roberts going? Yes? They've always asked about the famous Dwight York, Brian Lara, etc., etc.
Which cements the point that he's making. Brilliant point indeed. We're going to take a short break and come back with more on We Paddy Prime. Stay with us.
Sponsorship of this broadcast brought to you by
dreams sometimes seem so far away. Digicel is the partner that brings us all together. One side, one goal. One Digicel. One Jamaica.
Absolutely incredible performance.
Be terrified by the line that went on forever, where one man is trapped in a never-ending car insurance payment line.
Wow, that sounds like a nightmare.
Right?
So why not skip the horror story and choose BCIC for all your car insurance needs?
You can go online and get a quote in less than 5 minutes. Or you can buy a policy in less than 10 minutes.
Plus payment options and so much more designed especially for you. BCIC, rethink insurance.
It's the Paris Games, darling. Everything needs to be perfect. Sneakers and spikes?
Check.
Her looks?
Check.
Okay, team. Seems like we pulled this off in record time. So, I just want to know, where's the water? Thanks, but I mean the cases of water. So she can stay hydrated for the games? Where's the water?
I didn't think she was taking water with her to Paris.
The water team send the cases ahead, so if you're good, then I'm officially ready for Paris.
We a bucket together when everybody out. Fried chicken with a pre-bucket for the crew. Share a bucket together, everybody go live. Spicy original when we online. Bucket together to the new dance craze. Taste explosion bursting with flame. When we a bucket together, it put you in a good mood. Every moment to share is finger licking good. Bucket together, come make we bucket together. Bucket together, bucket together.
Sponsorship of this broadcast brought to you by
Welcome back to We Paddy Prime. Jamaica's Oblique Seville and Kishin Thompson were among the leading qualifiers as 4 Caribbean men advanced to the semi-finals of the men's 100 meters, the heats of which were contested on Saturday morning session. Seville, who won his heat in 9.99, and Thompson 10 seconds flat, were joined by fellow Jamaican Akeem Blake and Ricoy Brathwaite of the British Virgin Islands. Blake was second in Heat 6 with 10.06, while Brathwaite placed third in 10.13 as South Africa's Akene Simbine won in 10.03 seconds. Americans Kenny Benderick and Fred Curley were the top qualifiers, both clocking 9.97 seconds. Now, gentlemen, what do you make of the 4 Caribbean athletes progressing now and, of course, just being as part of the 100 meters for men? Chris Taylor, welcome to the show. We're happy to have you on in the great discussion, but let's take a look at the semi-final lineup for Sunday before we get into the in-depth discussion with Chris, Jehu and Anil. Here we go. Yep. Any favorites there for you, Jehu?
In the first heat, obviously, Oblique Seville Ricoy has already shot above his body weight, so I would go with Oblique Civil. Listen, Ricoy has made great progress, and we are thankful for that. Yeah. But at this stage, I don't expect him to make it to the final.
Yeah, what about Louis from Great Britain?
Louis from Great Britain.
Now, Hinchcliffe.
Let me tell you, what's the greatest shock there? Noah Lyles right now confused. He don't know if to talk, if to come out quiet. He don't know if to pray or come with a Yu-Gi-Oh card, because to me, that was the flattest first round I have seen from someone who says they want to win a double. Right now, he's the most nervous man. He's going to have to come out there and run harder and faster than he ever thought before he ran his first race at the Olympics. He didn't come out of the blocks well. He tried to accelerate. It wasn't there. He forced it to about 80, 85. It still wasn't there. He looks horrible.
I think he underestimated the field. I think that was what it was from Noah Lyles. I think he came up maybe thinking it was like World Championships, which was the field was of less quality in the World Championships. And I think that's what forced him to have to run in the end. I don't think he'll make that same mistake in the semi-final. He is a quality athlete. But I think himself and Seville are the two favorites to go through here. Yes, Hinchcliffe from Great Britain did very well in the heats, and he could very well, you know, cop that third position, but I think he's third best amongst those two. I think those two have the quality and the means to put forward great times. But I think generally, you look at the heats, a lot of relaxation from the top athletes, and the times showed.
Yeah, he thought Noah Lyles, his start was not the best at all. His drive phase was not really pumping that much, and Seville doing a really good job in his heat as well. But Jehu, what are your thoughts on Noah Lyles not being at his best, one would say?
I wouldn't say he was not at his best. I'll second Chris's argument, whereby he really underestimated the field. He got up there, he maintained a pretty low drive phase. He wasn't too explosive out of the blocks, but Noah also isn't known to be being really explosive out of the blocks. When he got up and he realized where he was positioned within the entire field, I think that is where he probably realized, hey, I need to pick it up, and we see him working the hands a bit more earlier than he would have liked to.
I love these two athletes, but I want it to be noted that when your coach watches a race, even if a man underestimates the field and you come out of the blocks feeling relaxed, the good ones, when you're ready, you mash gas, and within 10 to 12 paces, you pick up on them fellas and you go. Noah Lyles tried to mash gas and the carburetor was clogged. And I'm telling you, be very careful. He might struggle to make the final. And that might be a bold statement, but I looked at it and he does not look good. I don't know if they came off the weights. I don't know if his plyometrics, his output, his ATP, CP, whatever is going on. Something is not right with Noah Lyles.
Well, we wait to see what happens with that. That was semi-final one, a discussion, heavy discussion in semi-final one. A bold statement that Noah Lyles from Anil Roberts.
Give them chance to respond.
That he may not reach the final.
Wait till it's a two.
Here we go. We take a look at semi-final number 2. Here's Ronaldo Espinosa of Cuba, Emmanuel Matadai, Akeem Blake, Leslie Tebogo, Akini Simbine, and Simbini
from South Africa.
All right, Simbini. Ajay from Nigeria. Kenneth Benderek coming in as maybe a favorite in this one. Lamont Jaco of Italy, and Joshua Hartmann from Germany. Am I right to say?
Jacobs, that should be Jacobs.
Put a B and a S.
Defending Olympic champion.
But you know what? They miss out the B.
He looked the shabbiest of the qualifiers.
They miss out the B and the S. You're not hearing me?
Let's go to semi-final 3. We have Puripol Bunson, Andre DeGrasse out of Canada, Zarnell Hughes, Kishane Thompson of Jamaica, Sani Brown, Ferdinand Omanyala, Fred Curley, Abdul Rashid Saminu, and Benjamin Richardson from South Africa there. That's the look at semi-final number 3. And we're going to get your thoughts on those semi-finals, gentlemen, in a little bit. But just for the purpose of the semi-final number 3 there, Kishane Thompson, certainly the favorite among the pack. Let's go back to semi-final 2. We're talking about Benderek.
Well, we are talking about Benderek.
I think
Kung Fu Kenny,
yeah,
looking
that's
good.
his nickname. That's his nickname.
Yeah,
but
that's
I
his
mean,
nickname.
But he looking
I
good.
think his transition from the 200 to the 100 has been excellent. He's flying under the radar, which I think works for him. And he, to me, could be that surprise man on the podium if he was to get there.
Look, I agreeing with you already. You see how
rain is falling outside.
Seville. Let's hear your thoughts on Seville's chances in this one.
So they have Kung Fu Kenny as the outside favorite, whereby we have a guy that placed second at the World Championships last year, an African Leslie Tobogo, and nobody's even considering him.
We ain't talking yet here. We talk him yet.
No, but we think
by one.
No, but I'm agreeing with you. I think Tobago will win the semi-final. But I'm saying that Kung Fu Kenny, I think in that semi, it's a different one. Simbini as well is a quality athlete. If you look at his last 40 meters, generally very strong. Not the greatest starter, but he finishes like a train. But so it's a difficult semi-final to call, but I agree with Jehu for sure that Tobago was the most impressive athlete.
Let me ask the producers to put back up the
attention now. Let's focus the attention now.
Semi-final so we don't talk.
Let's focus the attention now on Seville, Seville, and Kishane Thompson. Oh,
like
Thompson.
2 different semi-final they're talking about there now.
Thompson, semi-final in general. Thompson certainly on top of the list as it pertains to qualification into the final. Chris.
Yeah, no, Kishane Thompson, based on what he's done, blew the world, out of proportion in the national trials and so on. He has 10 seconds, but after about 50 meters, Kishane started to gear down. It was very obvious. So the 10 seconds was the easiest 10 seconds you have seen. We will see a lot better from him in the semi-final, but he's a big danger man. I think, as I said, based on what he's done so far this season, he will be coming in as the favorite. But yeah, and you can see there, geared down after 50, 60 meters, was looking all about who was around him.
Even after a false start, because Jeremiah Azu from Great Britain was disqualified in this one.
This is what I'm going to tell you now. I don't even think he geared up yet. This man looks so good. He ain't run nothing yet. But what was greater about this race went off about 11 minutes after it was supposed to go. This fella, Azu from Great Britain, and if the producer good on the first start, show when Azu went into the blocks, Jehu. I have never seen a leg tremble like that. His left leg was in the back pushing, and it was shaking. And I'm watching his left leg and saying, what is this man? Is just so frightened that his leg could not stay still. He false started, and then he embarrassed himself and his country by arguing with the referee. But the referee looked like he was in the UFC. One big, strong, fit referee. And he told him, you have to go out and so on. But while all of that was going on, Kishane, look at that foot shaking. Oh, you see it? I never seen that before. That man was so frightened, he couldn't stop his leg from shaking. False start. Kishane Thompson, remember yesterday we spoke about ideal performance state. Kishane Thompson stayed calm in the argument. He even got a warning. I don't know what they warned Kishane Thompson for. They gave him a red and black card.
But why would he worry? Why would he worry?
No, well, he's so fast he didn't worry. But what I'm saying is, when something like that happens to an Olympic athlete, you're ready. It could throw you off. But it didn't throw off Kishane Thompson. He went back, he smiled it up, he stayed calm, he walked down the track in 10-0. This man is phenomenal, Jehu.
Definitely a class act. He maintained his composure. We've seen in previous World Championships, even our boy Atto Bolden at some point in one of the previous World Championships, he let those false starts get to him, but we could see here he was pretty composed. He understand what was the task required.
What was this warning after Azu went? What was the warning for Kishane?
I think Kishane probably made a loud outburst and it probably could have distracted the other competitors.
Look this strong, man. You see the referee? So when he started to argue, he had to bubble down because the referee looked like he could hit him a right hand.
It is within his right to run on that process.
Could he run on a protest, though?
He could have run under protest. He has 30 minutes to file the protest, and then they will make an official decision if he's going to be reinstated.
Run for time.
But they told him get out, but he was too scared, too frightened, and that false start was just pure nerves. There was another false start, the Canadian Brown in one of the later years.
That's the last
and when he got his card, he just simply left. And that's how you have to do it. Those are the rules. No false start mean no false start. You have to relax.
But Anil, to be fair to Azu, I mean, I can understand his passion. This is the Olympic Games, his chance, he's going out.
Yep.
But I don't think he was over-aggressive in his manner. And I think the umpire dealt with him accordingly.
Well, you and me differ. Yeah. You're there on the world stage. The referee has told you your false started. That's the rule. Walk off. Don't he argued there holding up the other athletes, and I was getting worried, but you see what Kisane did. He jogged down.
That's a regular occurrence, though. You want a proper explanation as to why you have been dismissed. Because a man just comes, shows a flag, and then bye-bye Olympics. No. So you want an explanation.
You are saying it's regular. He argued, the referee had to tell him too many times that if you know how long that took, we're not showing the whole thing now. He went on, the referee came across, explained, showed him the thing, which means your 0.03, you could not react, so it's not humanly possible. He still continued. But what I'm proud of, me care about Asu, he was nervous, he was going to get licks anyway. But Thompson stayed calm, stayed relaxed, jogged, and came out beautifully, and I thought that shows that a man in form, ready for action.
Oblique Seville, the other Jamaican in action in the 100 meters, certainly looking towards getting good. Yeah, getting good in the finals, maybe.
Yeah. And there are 4 Caribbean athletes in that heat as well. But yeah, did very well. Oblique Seville. From, I would say, consistent performance, pretty good start, maintained his speed right through, decent finish, didn't need to explode too much. But as you say, held his composure. Sarnie Brown beside him did well as well. But I think Oblique Seville has learned his lesson from the World Championships before, where I thought he ran heats too fast. That looking to the 9.8 in the heats is unnecessary, and maybe overrun in the World Championships in the heats and semi-finals. I think learned the lesson. You hear his interview as well, where he just spoke about managing the rounds, and I think that's important. You don't want to overrun when it's not a medal race, if you don't need to.
And tomorrow we could actually see a rematch of the Racers Grand Prix, where he actually defeated Noah Lyles, because 2 of them are now located in the same semi-final.
That's going to be a big one.
One person separating.
That's going to be a big one, gentlemen.
And let me tell you this, if what you say is happening, and Oblique Seville will beat Noah Lyles in the semi-final, that opens up the possibility for 1-2 Jamaica, because it will be the same thing like the woman. Noah Lyles, if he loses that semi-final tomorrow, will be questioning his fitness, how he prepared, and if he's ready to go. And Thompson has no question.
You got to stick a pin in that thought there,
question.
Mr. Roberts. We got to take a short break and come back with more. The discussion is getting really heated up here, and we continue after this.
De chaque nation nous venons pour rivaliser avec passion et courage, nos cœurs sont élevés. In the arena, we give our all. With grace and honor, we stand tall. Dans l'arène, nous donnons tout. Avec grâce et honneur, nous restons.
Sponsorship of this broadcast brought to you by
Hey love, you excited for date night tonight? I'm seeing you at 5, right?
Of course, babe. I'll see you at 5.
In a world where our dreams sometimes seem so far away, Digicel is the partner that brings us all together. Stay connected this summer at home or on the go with Digicel Plus Home Fiber or a Prime Broader plan. Enjoy premium access to the action anywhere you're there. One side, one Digicel. One Jamaica. Digicel. Better connected.
life come with plenty tough decisions. But you know what not hard? Deciding which flavors to get on your amazing 4 pizza. Pepperoni, Hawaiian, chicken chunks, vegetarian. There's no pressure with Pizza Hut's amazing 4. You get 4 juicy flavors with 1 less choice to make. Pizza Hut, now that's delivery.
Sponsorship of this broadcast brought to you by
Welcome back to We Party Prime. Jamaica's Sabrina Lynn, Bahamas' Renisha Gibbs, and a few of the others, including Kenise Apinai Green, were all eliminated at the preliminary round stage of the women's 50-meter freestyle on Saturday morning. 17-year-old Green was the first up in the Heat 5, finishing third in a time of 27.23 seconds. Lynn and Gibbs both lined up in the 7th heat and finished 5th in 6th with times of 26.08 and 26.27 respectively. Now, let's get some reactions from, first off, Janelle Atkinson, who's joining us for the final segment that she will be joining us. Janelle, what are your thoughts on the swimmers? But before we get your thoughts, let's hear the reactions of some of the swimmers. First up, from Paris.
Do a personal best, but you end up not breaking the 26-second barrier. But talk to me about the race.
I think it was just nerves. Like, it felt good, but like my first 25 wasn't as fast as it could have been, I guess. So I think it was the first part of my race, and then once I hit that 25, I was like, wait a minute. Well, not wait a minute, but like I started speeding up, and I feel like if I kept that from the beginning, it would have been better. But
what were you feeling before the race, though? Were you a little bit nervous?
A little bit. I was a lot nervous. People before me were fast, people with me, people behind me. There are a few big names, but you know, nerves were like killing me, killing me. But you know, we worked through it, even though I didn't get the best time. It's an okay time.
Representing St. Vincent and the Grenadines and clocking a personal best all came together nicely after that race.
Yes, I'm very happy with my performance. I got a personal best, so that's all I can ask for. I went out there, I did my best, and I'm just grateful.
What was it like performing inside this arena?
Well, the crowd was very loud, for one. I remember my friends and my teammates were over there screaming. Probably my coach is right there. So it was very nice to see everyone supporting me. I know everyone back home is supporting me as well.
Ranishka, talk to me about the race. What were you feeling throughout it?
I was pretty nervous before going into the race, but you know, I believe that swimming is like 95% mental, 5% swimming. So I was just trying to stay really positive. The beginning of the race felt really good. It was more so my second 25 that I felt like I started to fall a little bit short. I was a bit disappointed in the time. I wanted to break that 26 barrier and go 25. But just to even be at the Olympics is honestly a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and I'm just proud of myself even making it this far.
Really nice to hear from the athletes, the swimmers. Janelle Atkinson, your initial reactions to the interviews. That last one, she's saying that she's just so overwhelmed and so happy to even reach this far in the Olympics.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting is that, you know, the 50 free is unfortunately so far down into the program. You know, for me personally, I would have liked to have seen all of them race in the 100 free just to kind of work out the kinks and the bugs. But I mean, it was a solid performance by Gibbs. She was right on her best time. I think she may have been like 0.03 or so off of what her best time was. Sabrina, I feel like for her, she was a little bit flat, and I feel like the preparation leading up to, or even the practices during the time that she was over there, I don't think necessarily she did as much as she needed to have done leading up to it. But like I said, had they both swam the 100, I think that would have basically kind of set them up for more of a successful 50. And on that note too, you know, I also have questions why Taylor from Bahamas didn't do the 50, because he had blistering speed coming off on that 100. So, you know, I think it's a missed opportunity there. But I mean, I'm always happy to see representation in the Caribbean, and, you know, as I said, always, you have a lane, you have a chance, and they had a chance, and they did what they could with it.
What advice would you give to the young swimmers coming up, especially the ladies? We've seen a lot of them participate from a Caribbean perspective this year in the Olympics. Now looking ahead to LA 2028, what advice would you have to give to them?
My advice would be that there are other freestyle events. There's a 200, there's a 400, there's a 800, there's a 1500. You know, so it's one of those I would love to see more representation in other events, you know, mainly because it's one of those where I don't want us to set ourselves up as a sprint factory of some sort. You know, we've made it past the first round and even the second round in other events outside of the 50. So let's branch out and try something new. And, you know, coaches out there, let's educate ourselves, let's understand the different events, understand, you know, what's there and what's capable, because as a Caribbean unit, like, we have so much potential.
Yeah, we've seen lots of potential in this Olympics, Anna Roberts. What advice would you have to give to the young ladies? I know your ATP levels were skyrocketing a few moments ago. Let's bring it down a little bit.
Nah, we don't bring it down when it's Olympics. Boy. When they bring it down, you get licks. But I'll throw it back to Janelle because I wanted to develop that point. Coach education. We have a lot of coaches in the Caribbean who just feel they know. Oh, they 20 years, 30 years. You could be doing something 30 years and you ain't know nothing, you know. But please.
And even the new coaches.
And the new coach. Explain what needs to happen because we have talent, we have the kids, we have the facilities. The deficit is the brain, the minds of the coaches. Please talk to them. Maybe they'll listen to you.
I don't know. You know, it's one of those where, in terms of educating yourselves, understand the different events, understanding how, you know, other countries develop their athletes, understand what to look for when you're looking at an athlete and seeing how they swim. You know what? Maybe they might actually be a very good backstroker. Not for nothing, I started off as a 100 butterfly and 100 backstroker, and I transitioned into the 200 free. And then when I moved to the US, that's when they realized, oh, wait, she has a lot of metabolism, and we can use that to our advantage. So that's when they started pushing me into these mid-distance events, and trust me, I went kicking and screaming. But at the end of the day, it was worth it because, I mean, to be an Olympian for one, and then on top of that, a medalist and just missing out on a medal, I mean, I would rather swim the 400 20 times over and come fourth 80 million times than do a 50 and come not have a second swim.
Now, let's get to some of the finals today, a few of them taking place. But first off, the women 200 individual medley, the IM Kaylee McKeown getting third spot in 2:08.08. Kate Douglas getting 2:06.92. And the talk of the town, the young lady, Summer McIntosh yet again, Olympic record of 2:06.56. Anna Roberts.
McIntosh.
We spoke about Leon Marchand, and on the female side, we have McIntosh.
McIntosh is the Marchand on the female side and might even be better than Marchand because this young lady, 17 years old, brilliant, training hard but swimming well above her years. She is such a consummate racer. She prepares well. Her transition from butterfly to backstroke. Normally when you swim butterfly and you turn on your back, all of your organs are changing. Gravity is now pulling them. You feel that you are tired in the first 20 meters of the backstroke. You have to ignore that and swim through. McIntosh does that. She nails her turns. She listens to her coach. She implements, and she has 3 gold medals.
You like those?
I must say,
listen to the coach.
Listen to your, well, once your coach our brain.
Make it a short one. Make it a short one.
Not all. Let me put a little caveat. Listen to, if your coach understands, believes, educates himself or herself, knows the science, listen to your coach, follow your coach, and you become a McIntosh, you become a Marchand. And you hear them always compliment their coach. As soon as they have someone to thank, they thank their coach. That's an awesome responsibility, and that's why we in the Caribbean must understand coaching must be a profession. It must not just be something. Nobody else would hire me to run the company or to run the Giselle or to go here and be a CEO or to be a lawyer, so I'll be a coach. That don't work. Coaching is a specific profession and an art, and you must join the science with the art and the knowledge of implementation to individuals.
Now let's get to
coaches determine how well the athletes.
Let's get quickly, folks, to the other finals. Well, some of them that took place today. The men's 100-meter butterfly coming in first position. Christoph Milak of Hungary. Chris.
Yeah, no surprise. Milak has shown his quality right throughout. Second gold medal, the third gold medal now, I think, for him. Impressive performance. But in that race, I'd like to mention Josh Liendo. Canadian, Yep, swimming for Canada, Trinidad and Tobago born. Excellent. We'll adopt that medal from a Caribbean perspective.
Alan Roberts is going berserk.
Yeah. Forget him over there. Forget him over there. Yeah.
I'm on the red, black and white pajamas.
Right? But yeah, Leandro had promised right throughout. He narrowly missed out on a medal. What was it, yesterday? In the 50. Yeah, brilliant performance. I think it was .02 he missed a bronze medal by. This time getting the silver. It was silver and bronze for Canada as well, because Karoon, who had promised so much, and I think we had picked him to be the bronze medalist, lived up to that expectation. But the Trinidad and Tobago born Canadian. We'll take
he left
that
at about 11 years old. But on top of that, why I'm proud of him, he wasn't at his best. Earlier in the year, at the NCAAs, University of Florida, at the Canadian trials, he was on point, on form, and I was saying, hey, this boy could get up there. Yeah. 3 medals on the podium, I don't know what color. He came to the Olympics, and he was just a little over-rested. But to come back, fight back, desire, and get that silver, respect.
But all of his events, he got better as they went along.
As they went on.
I just wanted to say, I mean, I know swimming is winding down now, and there's, 1 day to go in swimming. And Janelle made a point at the start of this whole production. But there was a time where the Caribbean only spat out, as we would like to say, 2 or 3 swimmers in the Olympics. And to see every day we've spoken about swimming, we have 6, 10 athletes performing there. To say that the Caribbean are now producing 20 and 30 swimmers, I think is a big deal. Yes, we've only had 1 finalist from the Caribbean. But in terms of performances and the magnitude of the team, the Caribbean team, I think that is something to behold. And I agree with her that now we want to move on from just competing and start to penetrate these events, semi-finals and so on.
Well, you know, I wish we had more time to talk about the swimming perspective, but the athletics medal table is about to be showcased, and let's take a look at that because it's going to be interesting. The top 10, here we go. USA, top of the list there, 1 gold and 7 in total. China, second, 1 gold and 1 in total. Dominica,
St. Lucia.
Third, yeah, there we go. Yeah, interesting. St. Lucia and Jamaica down at number 10. That's a top 10 there. 2 in total. I'm sure more will be added to that. You know, Grenada is in 11th position as well. But, you know, just seeing...
And then Victor.
Jareem.
Yeah, Victor.
Jareem, you hear me, boy? Hear me in SportsMax. Jareem. Yes,
just
my brother.
Seeing 3, 1, 2, 3, yeah, 3 Caribbean countries there, Janelle, on top of the list there with athletics. I mean, I know you're a swimming athlete and you're a swimming specialist, but tell us, how do you feel about seeing this?
You know, it's only going to be a matter of time before swimming starts to add to that medal tally. So, you know, hopefully this will be motivation for these youngsters, these 11, 12s. Let's go.
We'll hold her to that. We'll hold her to that.
I'll hold the coaches to that.
Before we allow Janelle to leave, I really want to get your overall perspective of swimming this year in the Olympics from a Caribbean perspective.
You know, from a Caribbean perspective, there's always a ton of possibility and hope for a future. You know, how we represented this year, obviously Jordan definitely took the cake for the entire Caribbean and really carried all of us on his back. He had a lot of youngsters, whether they were there or even at home watching him, and he knew that he had to represent and represent well. You know, so for us pretty much as a region, I think we did well. Is there still room for improvement and growth? 100%. You know, between Nikolai from Trinidad, you know, I'm hoping that he will be around for 2028 in LA. I'm hoping that Taylor from Bahamas will really put on a good showing, get into that 50, even though I totally just said move away from the 50, but in his case, you know, definitely add the 50 to the lineup. And then we'll have so many youngsters, 11 and 12s, who are really up and coming, a lot of females particularly, who swim other events. And like I said before, coaches, please educate yourselves so we can have more representation in other events.
Hey, we want to thank Janelle Atkinson for being with us throughout the entire duration of the swimming side of things, especially. I want to thank Chris Taylor as well, Anna Roberts and J. Hugh Gordon joining us earlier, and Obadiah fitting in some of his time from the Paris Combox. We want to thank you as well for joining us and hope you stay tuned because we're going to continue our discussions day after day. This has been We Party Prime. Until next time, we'll see you soon.
We give our all with grace and honor. We stand tall dans l'arène. Nous donnons tout avec classe.
Sponsorship of this broadcast brought to you by
Hey, love. You excited for date night tonight? I'm seeing you at 5, right?
Of course, babe. I'll see you at 5.